Hello everybody, we are back with a brand new build of Pauper. We are taking a page from Daddy Deluxicoff's Brews, playing some mono white Infect. He played it last week in his stream. I've seen him stream it a couple times before. It's great, and from the changes that he's made with the new Iconic Masters and his own play, I completely agree. It's time to play this. So we are here playing some mono white Infect. Let's start off with what are the Infectors in white? Well, we've got, first of all, a Lost Leonin. Very efficient Infector, 2 mana, 2/1. Just kind of bread and butter. You kind of need it in your deck. We've got Ichorclaw Myr. Infects only for 1 for 2 mana, but when it becomes blocked, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn, making it a very difficult creature to block and distributing -1/-1 counters on the creatures, often getting just chump blocked, or they just let it through for 1 damage. Priests of Norn, we've got basically the best Infector in white here. 3 mana, 1/4 Vigilance. Doesn't look like much, but it is such a beast to deal with. Most burn spells don't hit it. It can attack for 1, leave itself open to block, and distribute -1/-1 counters on creatures. Just an excellent card all around. Love it. We wrap up our Infectors with 3 Corpse Curs. This doesn't look like a very good card, and well, honestly, it isn't in most Infect decks, but here we're not going for just a blitz and a combo deck kind of style thing. We are really going for kind of an inevitability style deck where the Infectors will just eventually get there, going through combat, being unblockable and stuff like that, doing little bits of damage at a time. So Corpse Cur actually fits in very, very well, as it's a 4 mana 2/2 Infector, which is not very good, but it does return an Infector from your graveyard to your hand. If you have multiple Corpse Curs, 1 in the graveyard, 1 in your hand, you can play the first one, get the other one back, and generate a ton of value that way. So it's a very good fit in this deck. Not as a 4 of 3 of seems very, very reasonable. Let's move on to our protection spells. Benevolent Bodyguard, 1 mana, 1/1, one of my favorite white cards out there. You sacrifice it, and target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. You play this guy on turn 1, and then you don't really have to worry about any removal spells and stuff on your Infectors in the future. He protects from at least one of them, which is just fantastic. Really, really good card. Hyena Umbra. Now, Deluxicoff used to play Mutagenic Growth instead of this card, but I totally agree with this change. 1 mana, gives the creature +1/+1 and First Strike, which First Strike is super important in this deck. Say you play your Hyena Umbra on the Corpse Cur, it becomes a 3/3 Infector with First Strike, and you attack with it, and the opponent blocks with, like, say, a Gurmag Angler, which is a 5/5. Straight up, it blocks. So the Corpse Cur has First Strike, so it deals this 3 Infect damage first, turning the Gurmag Angler into a 2/2, and then the Gurmag Angler deals its combat damage, but it's a 2/2 now. So the Corpse Cur actually survives that exchange, which is really amazing when you think about it, because now the Gurmag Angler is permanently a 2/2, and the Corpse Cur survives to fight another day. The Hyena Umbra also has the added benefit of giving Totem Armor, which protects it from, burn and removal spells and things like that. Doesn't protect from Edict effects necessarily, which is kind of the downside of this card, but it's still a really, really good addition. Love it. I'm playing a singleton Angelic Renewal. It works a lot like Benevolent Bodyguard, or say a Seal. Seal of Fire, Seal of Strength, stuff like that. Where you play it on turn 2 or whatever, and you don't worry about it anymore. You can play your creature, and if the guy has a removal spell, you don't need to spend mana to save it. The Angelic Renewal just goes to the graveyard, you get to return your creature, no problem. So just a very, very good card to play early or late. Adds a lot of value to the deck. I've been liking it as a 1-of. Deluxicoff has been playing Fleet Feathers Sandals instead, which I don't really like the card. It gives the creature flying and haste, which is great, but it's 2 mana to play and 2 mana to equip, so a bit too expensive for my taste. I've been liking the Angelic Renewal for now. Let's move on to one of the best cards in this deck, Cho-Manno's Blessing. 2 white mana, Flash Aura, which is extremely rare. You don't see that anywhere, really, and it gives the creature protection from the color of your choice. It's basically a counterspell when you think of it, where the opponent plays a removal spell on your creature, and then you can save it by flashing in the Cho-Manno's Blessing and giving your creature a permanent protection from the color of your choice. So not only does it save your creature from a removal spell, but it also makes it unblockable and gives it protection forever. Fantastic card. Love it. That brings me to Ward of Light. It's kind of the worst version of Cho-Manno's Blessing. We're only playing 2 of them. essentially does the exact same thing, except if you do cast it as though it has flash, you have to sacrifice it at the beginning of the next cleanup step. So kind of a weird card, but you have to think of it as just Cho-Manno's Blessing 5 and 6. Not as good, but it can still save a creature, and you can still play it during your main phase as a sorcery speed spell to just give your creature protection from a color, and future removal spells won't affect it anymore. Deluxicoff was playing Pentarch Ward as a 2-of instead. Basically just 1 more mana, and it cantrips, and it's also sorcery speed. I played it a couple times. Not really such a fan of it. I think the 3 mana is just really expensive, and it really opens you up to getting 2 for 1 anyways. So I switched for the Ward of Lights. I think it's just better, even though it doesn't cantrip, and you do have to sacrifice it if you use it as a kind of a counter spell. But still, I think it's just more versatile than the Pentarch Ward. Being cheaper helps a lot too. We've got basically 7 Bonesplitters here. Bonesplitter, just 1 mana to play, 1 mana to equip, +2/+0. Very, very good on our Infectors, particularly on Priests of Norn, making it a 3/4 Vigilance. Becomes a real beast, really hard to deal with. And we've got 3 Darksteel Axes here, 1 mana to play and 2 mana to equip for the same bonus, but it is indestructible, which has come into play a couple times. Just surprising how often it comes up. But yeah, very, very good. Brand new from Iconic Masters downgrade, so really, really nice addition to the deck. Let's round out our main deck with Remember the Fallen here. I was kind of on the fence of this card, and then I played it and realized it was actually pretty good. You can return, any combination of Corpse Cur, Ichorclaw Myr, Lost Leonin, Priest of Norn, Benevolent Bodyguard. As long as you have an artifact and a creature, you can even choose Ichorclaw Myr and Corpse Cur because they're artifacts and creatures, so just really versatile. Didn't see that at first. It's just actually a really good card. And we're rounding out with 13 planes, 1 Haunted Fengraf. You can task for colorless mana. You can pay 3 and tap it and sack it to return a creature card at random from your graveyard to your hand. Pretty good. Just a good way to sneak extra value into your mana base. Quicksand, same kind of deal. You want to kind of stretch your mana base as far as you can, since we are running 22 lands and we are mono white. So give an attacking creature without flying -1/-2. Very good at killing Ninja, the D-powers, and stuff like that. Secluded Steppe, just another way to draw some cards, get some extra value out of our mana base. Cycles when you don't need it anymore. Really nice to have. Let's move on to the sideboard. We got 2 Prismatic Strands. Probably should be 3. I'll talk about that in a sec. So it prevents all damage that source of the color of your choice would deal this turn, and you can flashback it for free by just tapping an untapped white creature you control. Again, works well with Benevolent Bodyguard and Priest of Norn, since the Norn has vigilance and stuff like that. So really, really nice addition. We got Dawn Charm here, which you can choose to either fog for a turn, regenerate a creature, or counter a spell that targets you. I'm starting to think that Prismatic Strands is just better because it does basically all of these things by preventing damage from the color of your choice, and then it can do it again for free. So Dawn Charm, kind of on the fence about this. It can come in handy because it's a mana cheaper, but yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out in future games. I'm kind of, not super convinced that it should be here. Faerie Macabre, there's so much Strawn running around, and they're playing Moment's Peace and stuff like that with Mnemonic Wall. So this is just a great way to, deal with the graveyard. Works really well against Exhume as well. And we were running it out with Journey to Nowhere. Just good removal in white, and Standard Bearer, good against auras, hexproof, stuff like that. And just soaks up more removal if you need to. Really, really nice card. So that's Mono White Infect by Deluxicoff. If you have not checked out his Pauperganda stream or YouTube, I'm going to link it in the description. It's a fantastic channel. Everybody who plays Pauper should be checking him out because he's got great ideas, plays really well, just a fantastic player in general, and a great source of inspiration for all of us. So thanks a lot, Deluxicoff, and I will be enjoying your deck, and I hope my viewers will be enjoying it as well. We'll see you in the games.